Your LinkedIn profile is basically your digital handshake. But have you ever stopped to think if it's also an open door? Today, we're going to dive into how to secure your spot on the world's biggest professional network. Because, let's be real, with all that connecting and sharing, you might be exposing way more than you think. So let's lock it down.
So that really brings us to the main question, right? Is your LinkedIn profile just a resume, or is it more like an open book for data scrapers, advertisers, and maybe even identity thieves? It's a risk we honestly don't think about much when we're trying to build our networks. But here's the good news. You totally have the power to change this, and it's not hard. In just the next few minutes, we're going to walk through a super simple checklist that'll help you take back control. First things first, let's fortify your account from the inside out. All right, part one, we have to secure the account itself. Seriously, think of it like locking the doors and windows to your house. It's the absolute first line of defense and the foundation for everything else we're going to do. Okay, if you do only one thing after hearing this, please make it this. Turn on two-step verification. It's like adding a deadbolt to your digital front door. It means that even if someone manages to steal your password, they still can't get in without your phone. It takes less than a minute, and it is, by far, your single best defense. Next up, let's do a quick security sweep. Think of this as some essential digital housekeeping. Change your password, pop over to where you're signed in, and kick out any old phones or laptops you don't recognize. And just double-check that the email and phone numbers on file are actually yours. Every little step here closes a potential backdoor to your account.
So, your account's front door is locked. Awesome. Now let's talk about who can peek through the windows. The whole goal here is to shift your profile from being a public billboard on the side of the highway to more of a private office, where you decide who gets to come in.
Think about this. When you go look at someone's profile, do you want to leave a little calling card? Browsing openly is great for networking, right? They see you stopped by. But what if you're doing some competitor research, or you just want to be more anonymous? Well, private mode makes you a ghost. You just show up as an anonymous LinkedIn member. It's a really powerful choice to have. And hey, a few quick clicks here can make a huge difference. Your list of connections, that's a gold mine for data miners. My recommendation? Set it to only you. Same goes for your profile photo. Maybe just limit that to your connections. And those little updates that get sent out every time you fix a typo in your job description? Yeah, just turn those off. It'll save your network from a lot of unnecessary noise. Okay. So you've got a handle on what other people can see. But what about what LinkedIn itself sees? This next part is all about managing your data and all those messages that clog up your inbox. It's really about controlling the flow of information, both in and out. This is a question we should probably all be asking more often. What exactly does LinkedIn know about me? And the answer? Well, it might surprise you. It's everything from your browsing history on the site to all the little inferences they make about your interests. And guess what? You absolutely have the right to see all that information. If you go into your data privacy settings, you can actually request a full download of your data. It's a really eye-opening way to understand your digital footprint on the platform and see what you're sharing. Speaking of data, let's talk about ads for a second. LinkedIn tracks you to try and show you personalized advertising, but you can opt out. Just go into your advertising data settings and flip these 3 categories to off. It's a super simple way to stop your personal info from being used to sell you stuff. Now, to keep your inbox sane and your data safe, let's tighten up your communication settings. You can limit who can send you InMail, turn off most of those endless notifications, and stop syncing your personal contacts. And here's a big one. Check which third-party apps you've given access to and just remove anything you don't use anymore. It's a quick win for reducing clutter and plugging potential data leaks. So all these settings are in place. Great. But privacy is definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing. You got to think of it more like ongoing maintenance, just a few simple habits that will keep you secure over the long haul. Here's a super simple schedule you can follow. Once a month or so, just do a quick search for your own name to see if there are any imposter accounts out there. Then, maybe every quarter, do a quick run-through of your settings, just because platforms sometimes change the defaults. And of course, always be a little suspicious of strange messages or weird links. And finally, let's just tidy up your public profile itself. Take a look and remove any really personal info, like your home address or personal phone number. You might even consider making follow the main button instead of connect. It helps you curate your network better. Oh, and if you're job hunting, make sure your open to work status is set to recruiters only. You probably don't want your current boss seeing it.
So, after all that, why does this matter? Well, because every single step we just took directly reduces your risk. You're making it so much harder for impersonators, data scrapers, and advertisers to use your information without you knowing. And that's a pretty huge payoff for just a few minutes of your time.
So we'll end with this thought. Your professional life, your career, that whole story is yours to write. By taking charge of your privacy, you're making sure that you are the one holding the pen, deciding who gets to read your story, and on your terms.